What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of He Said,
She Said,
where real talk meets real vibes.
I'm your girl Bree, bringing you the heart, heat, and a little Latina spicy.
And I'm Taj, coming with the logic, the laughs, and the raw and uncut truth. Let's get into it.
Right off the bat, y'all, I have a question. Can men and women really be just friends?
I say no, and you say what?
Well, I say yeah, they can.
Alright. See, it gotta be a little bit more context to it though. If you saying yeah, for me, yeah, but to a certain extent.
Okay.
Now, is this person in a relationship? So, if they're both in relationships, it depends on how comfortable the partner is with them having that type of relationship.
Okay.
Alright, so even then though, even if the partner's comfortable, I think there has to be boundaries set. This guy shouldn't be texting you consistently, honestly, every day. And this is just male, female, it don't matter what it, you know what I mean? I don't think he should be talking to you more than your man is talking to you. You shouldn't confide in him about anything about your man. So like, what kind of friend would he be at this point?
Okay, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So if you do keep him as a friend, what would be your relationship?
I mean, I feel like it would just be like mutual respect, you know, kind of like, you know, he has his situation and then just like kind of meet up when there's like special big events and we get invited. But as a couple, you know, like you and your man are invited, but it's not just you and your friends, you know, it's you and your man and your family. Yeah. So they're including you. So I feel like women and men can be friends.
Yeah, it just can't abuse that relationship.
No, yeah, and if they're meeting up behind your back or like with you not being there, then yeah, what's happening? Why am I not getting invited?
I just think because there's a lot of times, right, a lot of those friendships never develop while you're with the person. Mm-hmm. Typically, they bring that relationship so you knew this guy before you got into a relationship with him. Okay. Before you got into a relationship, you knew that guy. That guy was already your friend.
Yeah.
You're in a relationship, you're gonna tell your new guy, like, hey, yeah, I've been in a relationship, I've been knowing this guy, I know we're together, but that's my friend, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. Usually that's what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah, usually that's what we say. That's my friend, I've been knowing him, he's like a family friend, like, there's nothing there.
Right.
And then what would be your, like, thoughts after that, if we were to say, like, we've been best friends since we were, like, in elementary or something.
Best friends since elementary, okay. Now, what type of guy is cool with another guy? With his girl having a best friend as a male other than him. Because as your man, I should be your best friend.
Yeah.
Yo, the one you confide in.
But would it matter if my best friend didn't like the same sex? You know, that they liked, you know, I don't know,
I'm a little, you can't ask me because I done seen some shit.
Okay.
I haven't seen people claim to be on that side.
Yeah.
And, you know, hey, kudos to them. I don't have no offense to that crowd or nothing. But next thing I know, they hitting their best friend or whatever. You know what I mean? Best friend had a rough night. And you straight all of a sudden.
So you're just speaking like from experiences, what you've seen. Has
it happened to me specifically? No, but I've seen it close. Like I've seen actual people, you know.
Yeah.
And more so on the other way though. So not a gay guy, but a lesbian woman.
Yeah.
I've seen lesbian women cheat on their women more than probably anybody. Lesbian women cheat with men way more often than I think, a gay dude would cheat with a woman, you know?
Okay.
So in this situation, to me, women are more vulnerable to cheat if they have a close relationship with either sex.
Either sex, or it could be
I would
another
be comfortable. This is me. I'm naive. I would be more comfortable with my girl obviously having a girl best friend. Yeah, but if she's lesbian, I'm still gonna treat her like it's a dude.
Oh, okay.
So if it's a lesbian chick, I'm looking at you as a dude because you like women, right? And eventually, you're gonna feel some type of way.
Like if I had a lesbian best friend, you would not trust me going with her. Or like, let's say, I'm going to say, okay, we're going to go to the club and then we got Airbnb, you know, with other friends. How would you feel about that?
I would be cool with it, but it's all about how you telling me about this lesbian friend though. because most lesbian girls I know, they're wild. I don't know.
No,
it's
yeah.
a common theme. It's a common theme.
I mean, to each its own, but yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's all about your... I'm not insecure.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking of what I've seen before. So
yeah, and I like that.
I'm not going to stop you from going out or being with them
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Is my antennas going to be a little bit more raised than normal? Probably, but it's not going to be like stopping you from living your life or going out. If you go somewhere, I'm going to trust you. You know what I'm saying? But I would just think it would be something more likely to happen than not.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the question, you know, can man and woman really, you know, just be friends? You saying to a certain extent.
Yep. So that's it. As long as there's rules, and I mean not even rules, but as long as there's boundaries that are respected.
Yeah.
Then they can be friends.
No, yeah. So at first, like coming in like to this question, I was like a hard yes. You know, like yeah, they can be friends. You know, why not? But then after you started talking about to a certain extent setting those boundaries, then I agree. It is to a certain extent. Yeah. Because, you know, the girl has to set her boundaries. Like, we're going to be best friends, and then we're not going to cross the line, right? And then once that line gets crossed, like, we can no longer be best friends.
Yeah.
Because you already fucked up something by trying to be something more, and now, like, the friendship is broken. Like, I can't.
Right. All right, so let's flip it, though. Okay. I haven't really asked you, like, how would, it very rarely happens, how would you feel if your man, had a girl best friend?
Oh, no, hell no. I would not like that. No, I would not.
But why? So, did you see how immediately that switched?
Well, because I'm a woman, and I know a woman, and yeah, that's a no.
So, I can easily say I know men, and in my head, I definitely know how we...
Well, I mean, yeah, but if I know that person too, get me? Like, if you bring her around and off the bat, you're like, okay, this is my girl, and then this, you know, if I know this girl, then yeah. But if I don't know her and you're like, that's my best friend, then no, that's crazy.
But what if she was my best friend before you even came around? Same
well,
shit.
then bring her around so I can know her. But you still can't hang out with her by yourself.
So it's the same
because
context.
I don't know her yet. Get me? I don't know.
It's the same context.
I need to feel
vibes. And on my end, I don't even feel like if we was best friends at one point, all right, cool, whatever. But once I'm in a relationship, like, that's my best friend and a girl. I no longer really need, if I talk to her every once in a while, like, hey, how you been? Boom, that's it.
Yeah.
But we not finna be on the phone all day, every day.
Because now you have your own girl to like worry
that's
about.
who I'm confiding in.
Yeah.
The best friend is for, you know, the person that you tell everything and you confide
Maybe
in.
best friend is for people who are single.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I kind of was leaning towards that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say that. I don't want to be like, you're restricted to
yeah.
not having a best friend just because your best friend has to be me only. I'm not saying that.
No, yeah. But eventually, you have became my best friend, but
over time.
Yeah, over time, but it's not like, right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I agree with you to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And so, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that men and women, can be best friends?
Yeah, like put it in the comments. We do want to know your opinions, how you guys feel. It's a lot of different opinions out there, we know, so let us know how you feel about it. But that's how I feel. It has to be to an extent, and there has to be boundaries, which eventually, if those boundaries are strict enough, the relationship will kind of diminish on its own, unfortunately, if that's something that you wanted. But
yeah, that's true. So if you guys have this conversation and the other person, still says, well, I disagree with you, and I still want to have this person as my best friend, then they don't really truly respect you or, what you have to say about it. So I feel like, you should move on.
All right,
if they don't respect your opinion and how you feel about the situation.
Yeah, well, we agree there. That's
yeah. So
I'm glad we can come to an agreement on that.
Yeah, I actually like that.
We won't ever have any issues in that category.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but I never really thought we would, just because you were always open and honest about everything from the jump. You didn't try to make it like it was anything else. I just know dudes, so I was like, yeah, I just don't like that guy.
No,
like,
and then I was telling you the same thing. I was like, I know girls.
Yeah.
So we were kind of like on the same page. So that's why, so it makes sense to a certain extent. Setting those boundaries and then just being open.
And then it comes down to what's more important eventually. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So who do you want to keep?
Do you want to keep entertaining something, or do you want to build something with someone else?
All right, which leads me to my next.
Okay.
Because it's along this same conversation.
Okay, what is it?
So social media. We know social media is huge.
Social media.
Everybody has social media. So now social media and relationships.
Ooh, that's
How
a
do
good
you
one.
feel about your spouse following random girls, like if they follow girls that they knew from before or whatever, how do you feel about them following like a random girl, you know, that maybe she looks exotic, maybe she's one of those big booty, big boobs, you know, stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would feel some type of way just because I would be like, okay, so why is he following? Yeah, like why? Why is he following a person that looks nothing like me? Like, is that something that he's into? Like, you know, let me know. Maybe I'm not who you want to be with. Maybe you should be with something like
so,
you.
But do it gotta be that deep?
Well, to me, I mean,
gotta be that? No,
I'm Latina, so to me, yes, because I overanalyze everything. I overthink it. You know, it's just me, and I'm just being honest. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but that's just me, yes, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't care, but yeah. So, like, why are you following them? Like, what do they have that I don't have, or what, you know? And it's gonna make me feel some type of way.
Yeah, so
like
that's
I'm
what
gonna
I was
feel
say.
like a little insecure that my mind, you know, and then. Eventually, I'm gonna like subconsciously like start doing things to like look like these like women that you're liking in pictures to try to satisfy the man. Yeah.
And then people, and I've seen that happen. So that's why I kind of brought it up. I've seen that happen where people take that road, they go down that route.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen.
To keep a man, right?
Yeah.
But the man still leaves them. You want to know why?
Why? Because
even though he's looking at all that other stuff, he chose that person for who he met, how she looked when he met her for a reason. Because she was different than all of that. Yeah. So like, now I agree with you. He shouldn't still be looking at her.
Okay, I was saying, are you trying to justify?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't follow none of that. I agree with you. It's unnecessary. But for the ones that do, right? Like, I don't think it gotta be that deep, but I understand both sides of it. Some people think it's just entertainment. You know what I mean? Like,
entertainment for what though?
I don't know.
Like, right. I mean, people do watch other entertainment, you know, more explicit. So I understand, but it's like,
so it's like a strip club. Women don't go to the strip club as much as men. So men are just watching the strip club on social media, basically. And most women be cool with their men going to the strip club.
No, yeah, I know. Like, I would be cool with you too, but I have to be with you. Like, so why do you want to do shit on your own? So anytime a nigga gonna follow something, y'all gotta scroll down her page together? Anytime she... No, but still, like, why are you even scrolling down?
No,
that's the
thing.
No.
In general. Not me.
No, but I'm just saying, like, no, stop with your crazy.
Sometimes you can get in trouble just opening up a can of worms.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, exactly, don't.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing
Don't
to do
do something good that looks bad. Don't do something good that looks bad.
But on top of that, though, that was a question I wanted to ask, because I would not...
No, that's a good question.
I wouldn't be comfortable with you following random dudes.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you the same... Yeah, so would you feel comfortable if I was following, like, these shirtless guys with, like, six packs and muscles and 6 feet, 4, you know?
I mean, I got all of that except for 6 feet, so... I ain't really
well, I'm just saying, like, well, how would you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel like nothing, because at the end of the day, I'm like, you following them... Eventually, you're going to realize that shit ain't nothing like what you got already in front of you. So,
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I ain't really going to press no... I wouldn't be intimidated. I would ask you about what... If it's a lot, like you follow 1 or 2, I'm like, all right, maybe he do some sports nutrition and stuff, or I don't know.
Yeah.
She's trying to get into her diet, all right, maybe that's what he's talking about. But if it's just a dude just sitting there flexing and... doing all kind of random stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, then I'm gonna kind of question.
Okay, like, so I have another question.
What's your content about? What's so intriguing about this content?
Yeah. So I have another question. So how do you feel about like your girl having men as friends on social media?
It's almost the same conversation. Is it necessary? Really? Like, I know, but it has to be these days.
What do they say? Like, oh, like, this is, you know, a classmate from, like, high school. You know, I've known them since elementary, since, you know, middle school.
I'm not going to say childhood friends. But I don't think they need to be interacting heavily. But if you got friends, I'm not going to say, you're in a relationship now, delete all 3,000 friends you had before me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they don't need to be hitting you up. You don't need to be liking their pictures and all that stuff, because that's going to make me question stuff. You know what I mean? Once they're old friends, leave them as old friends. You might glance at pages here and there, whatever. But the interaction doesn't need to be as heavy. That's what I think.
Okay. No, I agree with it. Yeah, once you're in a relationship, I feel like, you know, well, in a committed, you know, serious relationship, I feel like everything should.
And then a lot of people have different views, and that's so. Like I said, you guys drop that into the comments because I know a lot of people have like open relationships these days.
Yeah.
We are in 2025. A lot of people are open to a lot of different things, and you know,
true.
there's less and less boundaries. So people might think we sound crazy right now.
Yeah.
But this is all about, and that's what we wanted to say. It's based on how you and yours approach your relationship. You can't really let nobody else influence how you guys are going to be in your relationship and what you accept in your relationship. It got to be what you guys came into a bond and an agreement to, and then from there is just you guys against pretty much anybody else's opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we both come from old school backgrounds. Like I grew up with my grandparents. She grew up with her grandparents.
Yeah, I also did.
So we're kind of raised on a little bit more older virtues and values.
More like old school.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much coming up to the end of our first episode. This is what our weekly conversations will be about. Is just our daily conversations will be about. And we hope that you guys tune in and come up with, you know, your own suggestions that you want us to talk about. So yeah, thank you guys for rocking with us. Tune in next episode where we're going to touch on abusive relationships along with some other real talk. As always, two voices, one vibe every day. Have a good night, y'all.